It has been 2 days since the United States men's national team was knocked out of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Not much has changed for me in the last 2 days. There are a lot of emotions, as I'm sure there are a lot of emotions for all of you. If you are somebody who just wants to be negative and bash and, I guess for lack of better words, maybe even try to humiliate the guys on this team, this episode is probably not for you. If you're somebody who's looking for optimism, this might be it. For the first time in my life, the emotion that I felt at the end of the game wasn't anger, it wasn't frustration, it wasn't rage. I was heartbroken. And I was heartbroken because for so long, this just felt like it. And for some of you, even hearing me say that, your immediate thought is, well, you're crazy, you're delusional, you're whatever, like, of course, and you're going to go, and that's fine, go for it. You do that thing. But in the games and the months leading up to this tournament, for the first time, we had a real chance. And for my predictions for the U.S. men's national team for this World Cup, this was the game. And in December, before we had shown any sign of hope, any real, we're still looking at the Copa America defeat. We don't really have any, we don't have any semblance of even really being a team. I had said, I'm going to take a chance. I think we're going to win this Belgium game. And we played our friendlies, and we hung with them, arguably better in that first half. And I thought, it's not a bad prediction. And we played Portugal. Not there yet, but getting there. And then we played Senegal and Germany. And I thought, prediction feels pretty good. And then we opened up against Paraguay. And we were off to the races. A home World Cup with an entire country behind us, with an entire media behind us. And everyone came out of the woodwork. Bandwagoners, haters, homers, and the like. Diehard fans, brand new fans, older fans, younger fans, adults, kids, boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, sisters, everybody. By all metrics, roughly 10 to 12% of the population of the United States watched the United States play Belgium. And yet, we're going to say it's a failure. Why? We're going to say it's a disappointment. Why? We're right back into all the old guard. Well, I told you this wasn't the golden generation. I told you they weren't any good. The generation of players that stepped on that field did more for soccer in the United States than every generation of soccer players has done for soccer in this country combined from 1930 to this moment. Now, was it all solely them? No, of course not. It's a home World Cup. It's the federation. It's media. It's a lot. It's a lot of stuff going together. And we're America. We like winning. We like money. We like ourselves. We like when things go our way. So when there came this opportunity to back a team, we did it. All of the emotions. that have come into this game. And I don't even know which ones are going to come out on this. This is just, it's just therapy for me. I'll talk goods, bads, highs, and lows. The hardest part about a World Cup is you have to play perfect. You can have maybe one bad game in the group stage. And after that, that's it. It's 2 tournaments. Get out of the group, and then it's knockout. You have to play perfect. You do not get to win a World Cup. And we had 32, 16, quarters, semis, and a final. If you can't play 5 perfect games, you don't get to win the World Cup. You don't. The United States was unable to play 5 perfect games. And the heartbreaking part wasn't that we lost. It's that we don't know who showed up. It's that for all of the fans and for everybody who believed in this team and who got behind this team, not a single one of us watched that game and was able to turn to our friends and say, yeah, that makes sense. For the casual fans who had just gotten on board, who watched the Paraguay game, who watched the Australia game, who watched the Bosnia game, those fans watched this game and felt gaslit. Who the heck did we just watch with Paraguay? And social media doing a great job. It's doing a bad job too, but it's doing a great job. Putting everything up there. Comparing, right? All the memes from America. You should just beat Paraguay 4-1. It's not that hard. Why doesn't everybody else just beat Paraguay 4-1? Germany couldn't do it. France couldn't do it. We did it. Yeah, but it's the opening game of the group stage. Okay, we did it. The opening game of the group stage is maybe one step down from a knockout. I mean, teams are coming out swinging. You got to win that game. What makes us so mad and is so heartbreaking is, where was that? And I've defended the boys every single World Cup. I'm going to defend them now. It is a lot harder. And it's not harder because we lost. That is not why. It's actually going to be easier to defend these boys in this World Cup because of the results that we got. That performance is impossible to swallow. Impossible to swallow. A couple players have bad games and come out in the media and say, hey guys, my bad. I didn't play great. The whole team? I'm not angry about it. I'm heartbroken. To sit and watch and believe that you would have played harder than the people on the field, that you would have given more than the players on the field, that you cared more than the players on the field. That's hard. That is nearly impossible to swallow. How in a World Cup knockout game do you let a ball bounce between 4 of you? Do you watch a player trap the ball and just stare at him as he goes past you? To watch a ball get played across the box and go through players' legs and get tapped into an empty net. And then look around at everybody else like it's somebody else's fault. I've heard people say it's because the lights got too bright. I mean, maybe. But all these players are playing overseas. They've had media in their face the whole way. They did the multiple documentaries. Pulisic had his own. McKinney's got his own thing. They did a USA versus the world. We've been on every single wiki thing. What are you just? Is it exhausting? Are you too tired from it? Have you never made this many runs deep in a tournament? I'd love to know. That's the hard part for me. The hard part now is watching that result and going, well, that wasn't us. So now, once again, I am stuck at the end of a World Cup not really knowing what we could do. Now, a lot of people are going to say, yeah, Tim, you do know what we could do. It was right there. You just watched it. That's what we could do. No, actually, I don't think so. And the reason that I don't think so is because when we lost to the Netherlands, it was pretty unanimous from everybody in the media. From all the content creators on YouTube and all the people, they were just like, that was abysmal. Greg's got no tactics. We got no tactics. We can't, clinical coaching from the Netherlands just put us to bed. the unanimous consensus after this one is, well, I actually don't know what I just watched. I couldn't actually tell you who that team was. Whereas when we played the Netherlands, we were like, yeah, that was us. Like, yeah, that's unfortunate, but that's probably the best that we got. That's kind of tough, but you know, we lack the defensive prowess. We didn't really track back with guys. We get exposed pretty easy. This was it, and the embarrassing from every single minute from the end of the Bosnia game to the end of this Belgium game has now become embarrassment. Like, we're a joke to the world. You're the host nation. You get this weird red card appeal thing that goes through and already caused enough outrage before the president of the United States gets on social media and says, yeah, I'm not saying I did that, but I did that. So now whether or not that's true, which the phone call we know was true, but whether or not there was any of that, now it is. So now that's it. So now the U.S. men's national team, who had avoided politics for the entirety of its existence, is just slammed right into the center of it. In the most divisive political figure, period. When that political figure was the reason we were so worried about hosting the World Cup because of all of the rumors and all the negativity around it there. So you combine that with the president of FIFA and all that nonsense, and all of a sudden corruption is corruption, and you got some good memes out of it, don't get me wrong, but if we're trying to take it seriously, well, that's not the kind of noise you want to hear. Did that noise affect us? I don't know. I'd like to believe not, but it's really hard to make that argument given what we saw. But it doesn't stop there. You're favored in sports books for maybe the first time ever against a top 10 side. You're in the top 10 power rankings in the tournament from all of the reporting magazines. You're predicted to be a top 8 team. But it doesn't stop there. Belgium doesn't even play their best 11. They took a chance to rest players. I'm sorry, in the knockout round of 16 against arguably a top 5 team in the tournament, if we're being significantly more open, top 10 team, top 8 team in the tournament, right? So, in all odds, an even matchup. Not a game that you're resting players. Oh, yeah, we're going to rest players. Kevin De Bruyne is not going to play. And Jeremy Doku is going to come off the bench. Jeremy Doku, who thrashed you into oblivion in the friendly and torched all of your defenders. So here comes the starting lineup. Oh, Belgium's not playing any of those guys. Oh, here we go. Me and my family sitting in the hotel room. We're going to get 2 goals before halftime against these guys. And they're going to be panicking, wondering why, like this is, we got this. Baby, it's going to be great. Oh, wait. No, it's not. Because we can't connect passes. And we don't know who's on our team. And all of a sudden, it's everybody else's responsibility, not ours. All of a sudden, it's up to my teammate to make the defensive play, not me. It's up to you to do something with the ball, not me. And in the final 2 games of the tournament, Malik Tillman is arguably the best player on the team, who was the worst player on the team before the tournament started. Not the whole team, but out of the starting 11. He was the worst player in the starting 11. That doesn't mean he's bad. I'm not saying he's bad. But if you rank the 11 players in the starting lineup, he's the worst one. He got the final spot. He's competing against the Gio Reynas and the Sebastian Berhalters. He's the one who, if Johnny Cardoso's here, and maybe even Tanner Tessman, they're playing over him. And he's the best player against Belgium? Balogun, who'd been a rock star, changing the face of U.S. soccer single-handedly himself, giving us a striker to believe in. Just unreal. Everybody knew his name. My friends were texting me, who is this guy? Should I know who this guy is? Where does he play? Where's he from? How did we get him? His name is not... No, it's not him. Oh, no, it's not Christian. Oh, no, it's definitely not Dest. It wasn't McKinney. Well, McKinney played okay. It's not Adams. It's not Robinson. It's not Richards. It wasn't Ream. It's not Freeman. It's Tillman. Tillman, who's trying ridiculous no-look blind heel flicks and back passes and awkward one-touches and turning the ball over in the midfield. Repeated, just like everybody else did, for the record. Belgium, who then went, wait a minute. We will respect the United States' midfield. We'll just bypass it. We'll just play high school soccer and just hit a long ball to the corner and just hope for the best. Oh, okay. Well, that's fine because Freeman's pretty quick and Robinson's one of the best left backs in Europe. So, yeah, that's fine. And Richards just won a trophy with Crystal Palace. He's really good. So, yeah, go for it. And we really haven't actually, struggled with balls coming through in the air and set pieces. And our center backs are winning lots of balls in the air. Oh, wait. But then we couldn't. And all of a sudden, the ball's getting hit over our head, and we can't track with our guys, and we really don't know where they are, and we look like the Turkey game, where we don't really have a defensive shape, and we're not really sure where the ball is and whose responsibility is whose. And there's 6 of us in the box and 2 Belgian players, and they still found each other. And then we're looking around oh, is that my guy? Was it me? Was I supposed to do that? Finally start winning the ball in the air, and you're not winning it to anybody because everybody in the midfield's going, not it. That's a U ball, right? Oh, but it's okay because Tillman gets us back in it. Okay, guys, that was a really rough 30 minutes. We got an hour left of the game. We're back in it. Life's going to be great. Oh, I hadn't even hit send on the text message to my friends saying we're so back. And Belgium had scored. What are we doing? What are we doing? That, in the first 10 minutes of that game, my brother and I looked at each other, and we said, we're not winning this game. My wife had gone to get food. She was late coming back to the game. She comes in. We're down 1-0, and my brother's wife's like, this is not good. And Allie looks at me, and I just said, as honest as I could, this game's going to be 3-4-0 very soon. And it wasn't like Belgium was doing anything special. Weren't doing anything unique. Just kick the ball as far as we can. Have somebody run into the box and just sling it in there. Oh, it worked. It worked twice. Nice. That's awesome. It's okay. It's 2-1. We'll think about the team. We'll think about what I said. We're going to score 2 goals. We scored at least 2 goals in every single game to this point. Literally, we had scored at least 2 goals in every single game to this point. Belgium's a top 10 side, Tim. It's going to be different. Sure, it's going to be different. I get it. But the boys got some fight, right? They got some fight. We'll get a second goal. We definitely won't forget how to clear the ball. That definitely won't happen. We won't, for some reason, just let our guy run past us. Because we misjudged a ball, which is fine that you misjudged it, but you don't run with him. I get not fouling him, and I get not grabbing him because that's an automatic red card, and you're definitely not winning the game if Richards gets a red card there. But to just not run? That was weird. Oh, but it's okay because Freeze bailed you out. Because he chests the ball, and then every other goalie, you just don't think about it. You just thump it as far as you can. Oh, no, we're going to take some touches. Oh, okay. I mean, it's bold. But, okay, we could build up, right? We'll build. We'll knock the ball out to Robinson on the left. Oh, no, we're going to cut it back. We cut the ball back into the guy that you just chested the ball past. Oh, but that's okay because his teammate has got to hit a one-timer from, really far out, and he hit it right at Tim Ream, who missed it. And so not only do you not get further than the round of 16 and open the door up for all the washed-up has-beens to say the same thing that they've been saying, which is, we made the quarterfinals in 2002, so these kids don't care. We're real good. So they get that again. They didn't play their starters. So that's humiliating. You didn't even concede difficult goals. You lose in a 2-1. Game's kind of close. We get some chances. We're pouring it on. Belgium's got to make a ton of saves. And it's just kind of, we just, gosh, I just wish we had those 10 minutes back. Like, it sucks. You want the 10 minutes back, but, like, at least they're the top 10 seeded team, right? This is like the whole world is watching you just fall apart. Like, whether it was or not, there's no more, you got nothing you can say now. Lights are too bright. Noise is too loud. Stage is too big. Never going to know. And it's worse than 4 years ago. And the reason it's worse than 4 years ago is because we didn't put up historic results. We played fine against England, got a draw. Struggled against Wales, struggled against Iran. So the fact that you lost to the Netherlands, like, wasn't a shock to anybody. I mean, even looking at the way the Netherlands played this time, it was like, that would have been a tough game for us. But you thrashed Paraguay. And you thrashed Australia. And you got to rest your players against Turkey and still almost beat them with your B team. You beat Bosnia down a player. And for anybody who watched that game, Bosnia had no chance. None. And if they don't go to VAR with that red card, which is something that I'm going to talk about at some point, because I can't stand VAR, that game is a blowout. If you don't lose Balogun in that game, Bosnia is losing that game 4 or 5-0 with subs coming off the bench and scoring. That's how dominant of a performance that was. So let's not let this red card take away from how dominant of a performance that was. Well, it's an expanded format and the teams are easier. Is anybody... Hold up. Is anybody giving crap to Germany? Is anybody talking about how easy... We were saying how easy Argentina's path was. Go look at it. Who's the best team they've beaten? A 29th ranked team? A 26th ranked team? They almost lost to Cape Verde. They almost lost to Egypt. They arguably should have lost to Egypt. Some nonsense with VAR. So it's heartbreaking. The loss to Belgium is heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking that I now have to sit here and listen to people rip this team apart, listen to people trash this team, have all of this, like, that's why I say heartbreaking. All of this amazing camaraderie, this entire nation is one supporting this team, gone before you went to bed because of how bad the performance was. Mexico puts up a fight and goes out. Their country's not going to bed saying you guys are a joke. They're going to bed saying, man, we could have had that one. One more bounce going our way, and we're putting that thing into stoppage or into extra time, and then we're definitely winning. England's playing down a man. Not us. Oh, and then arguably one of your best players gets hurt on, I'm sorry, not going to be popular opinion, but on foul. Now, getting a foul there doesn't change much. It's not like Christian's going to, be fine because it's a foul. But what happens? He sprains his ankle. He's come out and said it. He has an ankle sprain. Okay, so he's done. Christian doesn't go down, so we can't get the sub in. So the game doesn't stop because he's trying to tough it out, right? So for everybody who's like, Christian's not tough and he didn't work for it, right? Christian should have gone down. So it's actually the fact that he tried to tough it out. That's arguably the reason why Belgium scored their third goal. And granted, Matt Freese is the reason they scored their third goal. Don't get me wrong. So you just have all of that all at once in the most humiliating fashion. Your red card got overturned. You went for, like, you are just the laughing stock of the tournament for that moment. Sure, the players didn't bring it upon themselves. It's not like the U.S. men's team overturned the red card and did any, like, we didn't do any of it. None of the controversy is there. At least from it. I mean, it doesn't mean that we didn't. I'm sure the Federation probably sets it, like, I wouldn't be shocked if there was a little bit of corruption, right? Like, we're the host nation. And so let's talk about that. Let's talk about this red card. The argument that, well, it wasn't a red card in these other games, so it shouldn't be a red card in this one. I don't know if that's better or worse than all the other ones just should have been red cards. And part of me thinks like those arguments are really neither here nor there. Right? The thing that got me was VAR is being used inconsistently and is being used in situations where VAR has absolutely no right getting involved. I am in full support of video-assisted review being used to review things that are objective. Did the ball hit him? Did it touch his hand? If the referee's got a question, if the referee's like, I didn't call a handball because I didn't think it hit his hand and I thought it hit his foot. And then the video-assisted review's like, I actually have a still image to show you that it did in fact touch his hand, and that wasn't his head or his foot that it came off of, it was his hand. That's fine. But if the referee watches a tackle and just deliberately doesn't make a call because he knows he's got a second set of eyes upstairs, that's wrong. There's going to be outrage and injustice no matter what. We are human beings. You are not going to get it right. The solution is not having another human being make a subjective decision to overrule the subjective decision on the field. It's just opinions at that point. And we have opened the can of worms in this appeal process to say, well, what if we can just get someone else's opinion that is our opinion? Because now it's all you hear about. Egypt is mad about it. I think Germany was mad about it. It's like everybody's mad about it. Because now everybody's going, wait, hold on a second. I can just go get another person's subjective opinion to be different than the opinion that I was given in the moment. Whereas if you just did away with that, then you would go, you have to make a call in the moment. And whatever the moment makes and whatever the referee decides, whether it's an injustice or not, it's made, it's done. Yes, there will be inconsistencies in the tournament. That is a completely different thing to address. You're going to see inconsistencies because it's not the same referee. And it sucks. The level of inconsistency is what got everybody. If it was just Messi, right, you'd still have the conspiracy theory for Messi that we'll get into. You'd still have that. But it's the fact that it was like 16 other times, and some of the times that it happened to a United States player. And then this is the first one? I also thought the one that Canada or Qatar got for Coney was outrageous. He didn't even do anything. It's, oh, well, his leg broke, though. Like, okay, but he didn't. Like, that's not. Video assisted review doesn't go, well, the guy got hurt, so we got to red card this dude. Oh, well, his leg's broken, so we got to suspend this guy 5 games. No. That's not how that works. The referee watches a tackle. What's the call? The second problem with it was that VAR was being used in ways that FIFA stated they wouldn't do. So now, United States is wrapped up in this. FIFA is now just basically saying, we will change the rules whenever we want, and that is horrible. Horrible for the sport. If your rule states we're going to use video-assisted review, but in the means of whatever it is, we're not going to use slow motion and we're not going to use still frame images. And then, I'm telling you, from the moment that slow motion replay played, because we got the world feed, which means you know it's playing in the stadium, as soon as it played, I said he's getting ejected. He's gone. And then it came up, video-assisted review is going to, yep, he's gone. Because that's all they're going to show, right? And if I take this crest off, right, and you just show me the feet, and you just show me that moment, you don't show me the pass, you don't show me his body, you just show me the moment, and you look at me and you said, that guy did that on purpose, this is the easiest red card you will ever give in your entire life. Oh, so Tim, you agree, so it should be a red card. If you watch the play, and you see that Balogun is stepping to get in front of him, because he feels him coming and he thinks it's going to be easy. He thinks the guy's going to be behind him. And then it's too late. He gets beat to the ball, and well, where do you want his foot to go? If you watch, as soon as his foot hits the ground, he's pulling it off. So he stepped down just enough weight to get himself up off of it, and then he falls on top of him. If you're trying to hurt somebody, you step all the way through. You step all the way through. He didn't do that. The other issue with it is that whole game was allowed to get out of control. So you allow jersey pulling and pushing and grabbing and kicking and reckless tackles. And I mean, Malik Tillman's foot is bleeding because he gets stepped on so hard. But video assistant, like, that's not VAR's job. You don't just get to keep going back and re-regulating things. Why is it that we only saw one mistaken identity when there's been simulation the whole tournament? Like, it's the gross level of inconsistency in that. If we cannot get rid of injustice, which you can't, just allow the injustice made by the original official and just use VAR for objective decisions. Look at the Egypt game. So is this what we're going to do now? We just have a video-assisted review who's constantly looking at we're just going to stop every single turnover? Well, actually, I know the ball went out for a throw-in, but like 35 seconds ago, when your team took control of the ball, we think you fouled the guy getting the ball from him, so we're going to go back and we're going to issue a free kick there. Except we're not going to rewind the clock, so you don't get any of that time back. So we're just kind of saying that whatever happened in the meantime just is gone and doesn't exist, and we're all going to pretend that you stood there trying to figure out who to pass the ball to for 35 seconds. Well, that's what happened to Egypt. And it all goes away if you make the referee make a decision. Because we see it with offsides now. No one's going to raise their flag because they're going to wait for the semi-automated offsides to tell them the player's offsides, which has resulted in very long stretches of play with players just going after it and guys potentially getting in reckless tackles and challenges where they could get hurt, all to find out like, oh, just kidding. To the point where it was a joke. How do I know what offsides is? Well, offsides is whenever something exciting happens. To the VAR in the Croatia game. And I'll give it to you. Give it to you. Let's say the censor's true. Say the ball touched him. We'll say it touched him. The ball touched the Croatian player's head. Well, that means that guy's offsides. You mean to tell me that he didn't make a deliberate play on the ball? What's the Portugal defender doing there then? Is he ducking to get out of the way? That feels weird. I've never really seen a defender do that. And since the ball brushed his hair, because it was that light of a contact, well, there wasn't enough contact to deflect the ball into him. So he's obviously playing that trajectory, because the spin doesn't move and the ball doesn't move. The trajectory doesn't change. So he was deliberately making a play on the ball, and he miscalculated it, and it hit him, and it dropped at the foot of a Croatian player, and they scored. It's like the easiest call. But because we have video review, and because FIFA's trying to make money, now you're in this weird world of FIFA can match fix. I am not saying they are. I'm also not saying they're not. So now you can go on and fix games to get the results that you want because you just let one person's subjective opinion trump the other one. And what is anybody going to do about it? Just give some nonsense response. Sorry, Egypt, you don't get your goal because we went back some insane amount of time to a thing that we're going to deem a foul. We know the referee didn't deem it as a foul, but like we think it's a foul, right? Not to mention the fact that the camera immediately cut to Messi after the goal got scored and what's coming out of Messi's mouth. You can go find it. Messi looked at the referee and said, that's a foul. Oh, okay, but it's not a foul on Mo Salah when he turns the ball over. Now, sure, at first the Argentinian player kicks the ball. You can see his toe touch it. And then Mo Salah plays it again. And then the Argentinian trips Mo Salah and then goes away with the ball. And then the same thing happens. They go all the way down the field in roughly the exact same amount of time it took to Egypt. And then they scored. But we're not going to review that one. And we're all about eliminating hate speech and racism and all of that. And the Mexico fans can chant whatever they want in the World Cup. We'll shut it down in the Nations League. We'll shut it down in the Gold Cup. We'll shut it down in CONCACAF tournaments. Not in the World Cup. Not in the World Cup. We can do our chant 11 plus times in the World Cup because FIFA doesn't mean that. They're not gonna not do those things, right? So what are the positives for the men? What are the positives that we're not talking about? Okay, so here are the positives that are not being talked about. You made it further than Germany. Okay, like we need to talk about the fact that the FIFA rankings are in fact a joke. They're just a joke. There is no other way to put it. They are just a joke. Germany is the 4-ranked team. They go out in the round of 32. Uruguay goes out in the group stage. We're still not deemed better than either one of those teams, right? Despite the fact that we made it further than in the tournament, right? So when we don't make it further than other teams in the tournament, those teams are better than us. When we make it further than other teams in the tournament, those teams are still better than us because it's just a fluke. But Argentina has the easiest path forward to the final. Now, don't get me wrong. With whatever performance we put in that game, we're not winning nothing. Everybody would have beat us. But you're crazy if you think that us playing Egypt in that game wouldn't have been an easier matchup than Belgium. Even Switzerland. Sure, Switzerland beat Colombia. But, like, Switzerland made it because they just ground out to penalty kicks and won on penalty kicks. That's like a coin flip almost at that point. You go out in the same round as Brazil. Nah, Brazil's still better than us. Okay. These are the things that make it hard. You just, you win that one more game, you put everything to bed, you shut everybody up. So, overall, I think that this was unanimously the best tournament that our men have ever put forward. We set just about every record that we could possibly set, from the most goals scored in the tournament to the most games won, securing our group, doing it in the first 2 games, like winning the group, like all those things. Yes, there's a little bit of an asterisk because it's an expanded tournament and you're the host nation and da-da-da-da-da. You still had to beat pretty decent sides, and we saw from other results in other groups that there were a lot of teams in this tournament who were pretty decent, and we had a couple of them in our group. Right? We did the thing that we needed to do. We absolutely dominated Bosnia and Herzegovina, even through the red card. So the only blight on this is that you just didn't put up a good result against Belgium. If you play the starters against Turkey, you're winning that game too. So the United States could have just won their first 4 matches, which in any other World Cup would have gotten us to the quarterfinals. But because it's an expanded format, you have to win an additional knockout game. Now, we can sit here and say the knockout game is different and it's not as hard and blah, 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 blah. Germany didn't win theirs. Uruguay didn't get out of the group. It's a game of teams that are very, very, like, Bosnia is not a nobody. There are very likely scenarios in other World Cups where they could have. Like, Cabo Verde made it out of their group in second. Uruguay didn't when 3 teams made it out. Guys, anything can happen. So to discount the round of 32 game as if it just doesn't matter is crazy. If you went to the 2002 World Cup and you gave the United States any other opponent than Mexico, do you think we're winning that game? If you made that 2002 team play, because we finished what? I don't remember if we won the group or not. Play either a 3rd place team from another group or a 2nd place team from another group, right? If you just expanded that one and just said, let's just think about it. We'll just put them against the 2nd place team in another group. You think we win that game? No. So now we're going to be mad about everything else. We're going to be mad about okay. First off, it sucks that Christian was hurt the whole tournament. Like, objectively looking at it, Christian played, I think, entirely one full game. Played the first half of the Paraguay game, right? Looked dominant, did a ton of stuff. Then didn't play the entire Australia game. Played a little bit. Actually, he did come in the Turkey game, right? He comes in for a little bit in the Turkey game, so he plays a little bit more, right? And then plays the first half of the Belgium game. I guess he played Bosnia. Like, well, he's been resting and he rested for a Gold. Why are we talking about the Gold Cup? Why are we talking about the Gold Cup? Like, players get hurt. No one's upset with Johnny Cardoza. Man, that guy should have rested during the Gold Cup. He wouldn't have got hurt in the Champions League. What? What are you talking about? Like, that's not how that works. They're playing more games than everybody else. Like, we're just trying to find things to make our own selves look relevant, and it's crazy. It's crazy these former players that are all of a sudden like, oh, America's starting to care about soccer, so I can be relevant because I'll just get on one of these talk shows or these podcasts and I'll just, like, talk myself up. Like, we saw what Alexi Lalas looked like stat-wise next to Thierry Henry and Zlatan. It's like, here's Thierry Henry. He's like won the Ballon d'Or. He's won World Cups. He's da-da-da. And it's like, here's Alexi Lalas who, like, played in the World Cup and he's in the Hall of Fame and he just loves soccer more than everybody else does. Now, don't get me wrong. He's been an overall good. Like, we need somebody like that who cares about the sport more than everybody else because he's been more positive than everybody else. That's what got him into that position. But it is going to make it harder until we get people like Christian, like Balogun, like McKinney to be the analysts. And they can look back and be like, yeah, like, these are the things these players did. Because right now we got, like, Sasha Klechton, who's like, really? Out of all the people we did? We got people going out and saying, I almost commented on it, it was Rebecca Lowe's, it was After the Whistle, their podcast, that they like Landon Donovan as a commentator. He's like the only person I watch the games on mute. Like, clueless. If I had had time before the World Cup, I was going to do just a single episode as my message to him. And they'd probably still be one. And the TLDR of that one is just shut up. Like, you're doing such a disservice to this sport. And it's you and everybody else. You're mad because people don't support the team and people don't use sports and this and blah, 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 and how much crap it is and how much of an outrage it is and how da-da-da-da. But all you do is badmouth the sport and crap on the sport and talk trash about it. And you're the only people the media is putting up in front of it. So why would anyone want to watch? Now, the good news is you must be irrelevant because we had more people watch the game than have ever watched the game. Over 30 million viewers on Fox. They're saying that it peaked at 36, and Telemundo had between 12 and 14 million. So you're looking at like 40 to 50 million Americans, right? Watch that game. Now, some of them are watching in groups. Lots of them are watching in groups. And then if you think about the people who are old enough to be watching it, right? And you're just like completely discounting maybe kids under like 7, right? Certainly kids under 5, although I'm sure a bunch of them were there. Like, at least from the population of the United States at 330 something million, right? You get rid of like that younger. That's insane. Like, an eighth of the country watched us play Belgium. We had record numbers in everything. I had more of my friends message me about this World Cup than have ever messaged me about soccer in my life. People that I didn't even know were watching games were texting me during games and saying, I know you're watching this. This is so cool. Asking about more information about players. We went to Disney during this to see the number of individuals wearing USA Soccer jerseys all around the park, all looking at each other, all excited, all hyped up, all talking about it on the buses, all like, and they're not even like people who are just like casual fans, people who are following even though they didn't really care if they watched the game, but like they cared about the results. Like, the sport is growing. It's heartbreaking the way that we went out because now we don't know. And that's the hardest piece for me, is watching the games and going, you know, that wasn't our best performance, and now you don't know where we stack up. And it's just been year after year after year of not knowing where we stack up. You play in the Copa America, Tim Weah punches somebody. Now you got to play a man down, and now you don't know. And it's hard not knowing, and it's hard having so few chances to not know, to think you might have wasted Pochettino. Sure, there's talks and rumors and whatever. It feels unlikely he's going to stick around. Feels very unlikely he's going to stick around. There's a chance. He loved it here. This was the first coach, I think, that loved him, and that makes a big difference. Because yes, you want to coach in the EPL, not all those fans love you. Those fans turn real. It's like being a quarterback in New York City. People can flip on you very quickly. But this was, we loved this man. So many authentic things coming out. The country roads. It's our thing now. Like, we've waited so long for something to authentically come up. And sure, somebody obviously played that song in the stadium. we didn't have to sing along the way we did. We didn't have to play it again and again. The Outlaws and everybody else has tried all these stupid chants, and they just don't stick. I've been to games where they're like, we're going to pound this drum, and then we're going to chant you. Oh, Iceland had a cool thing. We'll take Iceland's thing. I'm surprised we didn't steal Norway's row. Now, what are other positive parts to this? It's been so exciting watching the impact that the World Cup has had on USA culture, for soccer, and just sports culture as a whole. To have American fans exposed to the passion and the love that other countries have for their sport. You just, if you haven't seen videos of the Norway Viking row, just watch it. There is not a single team in the United States who cares about their team more than the Norwegians care about that football team. There isn't. Hopefully now there will be. Hopefully we can raise the bar. The other argument that has to go away, it absolutely has to go away, that like we're not, our best athletes aren't playing this, or not youth sports, or blah, 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 blah. No. Here's reality. Go to a country like Ghana. Go to Sweden. Go to Brazil, Argentina. Go to Saudi Arabia. Go to Japan. Look at how many other professional sports are competing with their top sports. Japan's got baseball. They have phenomenal baseball players, right? Latin America's got baseball. The United States, like think about Brazil. You think Brazil has, like, I think they have maybe like basketballs a little bit. You don't, like, they don't have leagues like the United States. We have the NBA, the NHL, the MLB, the NFL, the MLS, all the women's leagues, fighting, dancing, X Games. Like, our athletes have so many more avenues to go. Whereas the best athletes in all the other sports is just one thing. Well, we need more training academies. Well, no, because the kids in England that are dominant athletes, they're like, that's where they're going. They're not like going and getting on a pond and ice skating or getting in a pool. Like, yes, some of the, like, obviously the Western world's got a bunch of the stuff and you still see them in the Olympics and they still have these chances, but like, not like us. So it's actually more impressive that we can say that we have all of these dominant athletes in all of these dominant sports, Olympics included, both winter and summer, and then to turn around and be able to say, like, yeah, and soccer's coming. If you don't think soccer's coming, wait. Give it another 8 years. Because if it's not the next one, then it's the one after that. You're going to be looking at semifinals or finals. I don't know if we win. Because if that was actually our best performance, obviously we have an infinitely long way to go. But if the performance that we put again against a Paraguay and against a Bosnia, if we are continuing, as I think we're continuing to go, this whole golden generation thing, I believe that every generation for at least maybe the next 4 generations, maybe 5, is going to be better than the last and is going to be our new golden generation. Because we had said it was a golden generation in the Netherlands. Some of those players are gone. Here we are now. Well, this is the golden generation. Okay, but in 4 more years, we're going to have even better younger players coming up. That's the idea. We need to ride this momentum, and we need to keep going for it. This was hard. It is hard if you're one of those casual American fans who's getting into this, who's trying it out, and just happens to come across this and, you know, and is watching it, and you like this stuff, and you want to stay informed. Like, this podcast is for everybody. It is for fans who love this and want to know more. We are not here to bash these guys. We're not here to try to be positive. Please like and subscribe to the video. You know, leave a comment. Help us grow the channel, something. This is the pain of loving something so much and only getting to see it once every 4 years. Because now you have to wait 4 years to see what it is. And there's not a lot of exciting stuff that's going to happen. We're going to see Copa America and the Nations League. World Cup qualifying is even going to look a little bit different. So hopefully we can get some bigger friendlies. Hopefully we can get into some bigger tournaments and stuff. Like, you know, Copa America is going to be a big deal. So hopefully we can see what we can do there. Right? I know not a lot of other people are going to say it. We're going to be doing a big podcast breaking the whole thing down tomorrow with the gang, but I just needed to get thoughts and feelings out. I had to do it. I was heartbroken. I turned the TV off immediately as the game ended. My brother had walked out when the 4th goal went in. We knew when they scored the 3rd one, the game was over. It sucks to go out in such a humiliating manner. It sucks to know that there's more there and not get to see what could have been. It sucks, it sucks, it sucks. But at the end of the day, that is the World Cup. You do not get to go far if you do not play perfect games. You do not get to win the trophy unless you play perfect games. Everything has to go your way. Even the smallest margins of two players coming together and the ball, whichever way the ball bounces. And we've seen in games in this tournament, both players come together in a 50-50 ball, and it happens to pop out to somebody and not the other one, and that person's in front of the net and they score. And that moment might never happen again, but guess what? In this tournament, it did. It's hard. It's why it's exciting. It's why there's passion. It's why there's these emotions. It's why players are collapsing on the field after these games. It's a beautiful game. It's a beautiful sport, and I'm just excited to continue to share it with you. I'm excited to continue to talk about the rest of the games. This is the first day where there just hasn't been anything. The quarterfinals are going to start tomorrow. France is going to play Morocco. They're going to be exciting games. We're going to talk about it. We're going to bring it all to you. We really appreciate everybody tuning in. We're believing in this team, that soccer is only going to grow in this country here on out. And we hope that you come along for the ride. We will catch you all on the next one.